Psycho Sibs Gaming, and you know that I absolutely love to go through these official update and balance notes. But this one, guys, for the final update of Battle for Neighborville, the September final update is ridiculously long. I mean, it's unbelievable. We have never seen this amount of content dropped into the game all at once. Or I guess I shouldn't say amount of content, I should say amount of changes, because when they said they were going to overhaul the upgrade system, they weren't kidding. I swear almost every single upgrade in the game has been changed in some fashion. It's ridiculous. I am completely lost for words on how insane this update is. So normally these videos are pretty long, and this one is not going to be any exception, but we are going to try our best to move relatively quickly through this update and talk about all of the different types of upgrades that have been changed. We'll also start off talking about a little bit of the general stuff, which I did cover in a previous video. I would actually recommend going and watching that first, because I'm not going to cover a lot of this bigger stuff. We're going to focus mostly on upgrades in this video, but if you do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because this is going to be a doozy. Alright guys, so let's just start off quick here. Some of this general stuff we already know. So Sorum characters being added, Battle Arena is going to be a weekly game mode, the bots are going to be fixed to some extent, so they'll have reduced vision and accuracy. We already know that. That was told to us prior, and I have a video about that now. Other things, so characters upgrades have undergone a major balance pass. That's what we're going to be talking about today. This is something that, here, let me scroll down a little bit, because most of the stuff I've covered earlier, but here we go. So with the balance changes, these are where we get a little bit more details of some general things. If we scroll down and we see the Hitbox Collision, they're being very specific here. The Foot Soldier, Action Hero, Electric Slide, Scientist, Captain Deadbeard, Goat, and Brown Coat Zombies hitboxes have all been increased. This will allow you to essentially land shots on those zombies easier. Should be a little more balanced now. And Colonel Corn's hitbox has been decreased. This is good. I think Colonel Corn definitely had way too big of a hitbox. That's one of the reasons I never played him. Next thing, when they said Vanquish Streak XP events, I thought that was like a legitimate event, like a double XP weekend, but they're actually just talking about like when you get a Vanquish Streak or multi-Vanquish and the XP pops up on your screen. So they're adding some changes into that. So with Vanquish Streaks, when you get 5 Vanquishes in a row, this would kind of be like a bloodthirsty medal in Call of Duty, you'll be granted 500 experience, which I think is a great idea. Also, there's going to be a bonus XP for getting multi-vanquishes, but you have to get the multi-kill within 1 second now instead of 2, and some other various XP events, such as Jinx Vanquish. The assist XP now triggers if you just tap them with 1 bullet. You don't have to deal a certain amount of damage. And some fixes to the heal flower pot, adding in a faster rate to match the zombies. Moving on to common upgrades. So now the rest of this video is pretty much going to be talking about upgrades. Common upgrades. Rough Patch. Increased maximum overhealth granted from 1.3 to 1.47 times. Okay, upgrade Critical Blow. This is a huge one. I use Critical Blow all the time. So Critical Blow, when you get essentially a critical vanquish on an enemy, it refreshes your abilities faster. This refreshes your abilities from 2 times as fast to 2.75 times as fast, which is crazy. And it increases the refresh duration from 1 to 2 seconds. So it is going to significantly refresh those upgrades for you. Same thing with Refresh Revive. If you get a Revive, it'll refresh your abilities 5 times as fast. That's insane. Upgrade attacks. Now I have to also remember, I'm trying to go off my head here and remember what all these upgrades even do to begin with. I think I can remember most of them. So upgrade Low Life, which allows you to get health when you kill an enemy when you have low health. Increase the equip cost from 1 to 2, but now instead of granting you a chunk of health, it actually heals you for 3 seconds when you get a Vanquish, and you can get a low life trigger when you're under 20% health instead of 14. The Ready Up allows you to come out of sprint faster, so it's decreasing the cost on that, and you are going to be able to transition out faster now. Vampiric, same kind of thing as the Low Life. Basically, when you kill an enemy, it'll heal you over time instead of just granting you a chunk of health, and you can get overhealth from it too, which is kind of cool. Upgrade Fearless, which is when you get health from being near enemies. Also gives you over health. This is just the health stacked on top of your normal health if you didn't know. And you only need to be standing next to one enemy to get the actual benefits from this, which is kind of crazy. This is great for any close range characters, like Chomper will significantly benefit from this. And your healing will stack based on how many enemies there are. So if there's 4 enemies near you, you'll be getting more health than if there's only 1. Combo, which is something I use a ton. It allows you to refresh your abilities faster by killing multiple enemies. It now costs 2 equip costs, but it refreshes your speed, or it refreshes your abilities 5 times as fast. That's crazy. So that's basically twice as fast as it used to. Defense upgrades. Best defense upgrade, which I believe granted you armor for kills. Could be wrong. Now costs 3 armor duration, but the armor duration's been significantly increased. All right, perfect. We'll keep moving on. Upgrade Adrenaline Rush, which allows you to move faster, I think, after vanquishing an enemy. Not too big changes here. Speed decreased a little bit. Support upgrades. Revive reward. You gain 10% armor now while you're reviving with that on. Hard target. Speed multipliers decrease, so they just reduce some speeds on stuff. That seems to be a trend here. Rollout will give you max health while you've been revived. That's kind of cool. And Combat Aura, the equip cost of that one has been decreased. The damage multiplier has been increased from 1.2 to 1.25, so a little bit. And the duration has been increased to 15 seconds. It's almost twice as long. But in order to basically trigger Combat Aura, which gives you a damage bonus for a Vanquish Streak, you need to get 5 Vanquishes instead of 3, which I think is fair, because previously, if you got 3 Vanquishes, Combat Aura only lasted 7 seconds. That's really not going to do you a whole lot of good. I never ran it. Now I might have to run it. Okay, now we're getting to the character-specific upgrades. Pea Shooter. Let's see. So, Pea Cannon, that's not a big deal. Chili Beam Bomb, not a big deal. Homing Pea is getting some significant buffs. The range has been increased. The equip cost has been increased, but the range has been increased. The time to lock on seems to, let's see, so decreased time to get a lock. So you don't have to be aimed at them for as long to get locked on, and it'll be harder for you to lose the lock on. So basically, Homing Pea's buffed. Let's see. Escape Roots, the speed multiplier decrease again. That's not Last Ditch. Damage has been decreased to 90, which is kind of a weird drop-off. There must have been some specific numbers with that. Reload Gatling, this is a huge one. So with Reload Gatling, usually if you did critical damage, you gained ammo for your P Gatling. Now it will, whenever this triggers, you'll get 25 ammo instead of 10, and it'll trigger every 5 critical hits instead of every 16. Which means that every 5 critical hits you do, you'll be getting 25 ammo back, which in theory would mean you can use the reload or the Gatling gun infinitely. That's crazy. Let's see, Party Time. Party Time's got a little bit of a buff here as far as the duration's 15 seconds. That's 3 times as fast. Feed the Beast. The refresh multiplier significantly increased to 4 times. Equip cost is decreased. Triggers on a critical vanquish instead of critical damage. Okay. Combat Adrenaline upgrade. Let's see. Again, the duration extension, equip cost increased. So this seems to be a trend. A lot of the durations of these upgrades are being increased, so your benefits last longer. However, they may become more expensive. Okay, finally moving on to our next character. I'll try to move a little faster now. Chomper, Slobber Shot. Let's see, not too big of a deal with that, just some gravity things. Grotty Goop, so it won't slow you down as much, but you can shoot it faster. Let's see. Anything else that we care about? Let's see. Vampire Spikeweed, I don't use that too much, but again, overhealth. Yep. Dirt Bath lasts for 5 seconds after exiting Grotty Goop. Okay, that's kind of cool. That was the one where if you were in the Grotty Goop, you got a bonus. Let's see. Oh, Mastication. This is one a lot of people run. Allows you to swallow zombies faster. It allows you to swallow them even faster now, 1.6 times. Let's see. Hot Rod is now 2 cost and removes the speed penalty from digestion. Okay, so if you're running Hot Rod, then you won't be slowed down while you're swallowing a zombie. That's pretty good. I'm not super familiar with Chomper, but let's see. Upset Stomach increases duration of guarded group to 12 seconds. And for Symbiosis, you can spawn multiple Spikeweeds with this upgrade as opposed to just one. That's just cool. You can have multiple, okay. With Symbiosis. Kernel Corn. Let's see what we got here. Super Spin. Triggers on any Vanquish, not just from Cob Busters. That's pretty cool. So this is the one that allows you to, I believe, get a faster rate of fire for getting a Vanquish. And it is active for 10 seconds now. And the... Okay. Increased equip cost. Rapid Recob. Increases your reload speed. The multiplier has gone from 0.5 to 0.25 times for reload speed. Okay, so it's basically going to reload a lot faster. Mob Corns, decrease equip cost. Now receive a damage multiplier with a power of 1.5 after they have pierced an enemy. Oh, this is crazy. So with Mob Corns allows you to shoot through enemies, but now once you've shot through the enemy, the corns deal 1.5 times damage once they go through them. Okay, gain ammo and increased magazine size when projectiles pierce. Okay, so when you even pierce enemies with them, it gave you ammo? Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Let's see, Butter Branches, speed doubled. Increased duration of reconnaissance. Let's see what else we got here that I care about. Upgrade Cornucopia, triggers on damage and Vanquish, and but the refresh rate is decreased. Okay, so you could trigger it more often. Happy Feet, decreased speed. A lot of speed decreases, which is the only real nerfs that we're seeing. Most of the things here are buffs. And remember, if you don't actually care about a lot of these upgrades, that's fine. I'm just going through them quickly. If you do care about the upgrade, then you'll probably know what I'm talking about. Nightcap. Moving on to Nightcap. Let's see, Shadow Sneak. You can reload while you're using Shadow Sneak, which is cool. And you can use Casting Shadows while on Shadow Sneak. That is pretty cool as well. So you can actually use some stuff. You're not just chilling doing nothing. Let's see, Fung Fu. Duration is now 2 seconds long. Increased the critical damage, or decreased critical damage area, okay. But increased times critical damage is applied. So basically, when you're using Fung Fu, if the person's right in the middle of your Fung Fu, then you're going to be doing a lot more critical damage to them. But they have to be closer to the middle. Upgrade Shadow Slings. So now we'll talk about some more upgrades. Let's see. So you warp forward when acting Shadow Sneak, instead of getting a speed boost when it ends. Interesting. So when you activate Shadow Sneak, it'll just give you a major boost right away. Let's see what else we got here. Upgrade Piercing Power. Grants maximum ammo capacity for a duration when triggered. Okay, so when you pierce someone, you'll be getting 60 ammo. Crazy. Let's see. Clear Coating increases armor to 50%. Wow. Uppercut. Decreased equip cost to 3. Just some knockback changes. Upgrade Shadow Tribute. Gain a charge of Shadow Sneak after a Vanquish. Oh, so after you Vanquish someone, you'll get a Shadow Sneak charge. That is pretty epic. Snapdragon. Let's see. So the burn damage over time has been decreased to 1.5 seconds. This is a good change. That's pretty significant, but it's a good change. Swoop Slam. You offset the explosion on land slightly backwards to make the ability more forgiving if you overshoot your target. Oh, so once you land, you'll kind of go backwards a little bit, so your camera doesn't go crazy. The inner and outer explosion do the same amount of damage. That's pretty good to know. So as long as you land it, it'll be doing the same amount of damage. Explosion radius has been significantly increased, and the damage has been increased to 100. So Swoop Slam will be able to one-shot imps now. Okay. Let's see, Quake. Let's see, it's got a lot more knockback. Incendiary decreases refresh when earning a Vanquish. That's interesting. So if you use Incendiary, it'll help you refresh your Swoop Slam faster. Let's see, Ventilation decreases refresh timer on abilities when Blue Blazes is used. So you just use the Blue Blazes apparently, and it decreases the refresh timer on stuff. These upgrades are starting to be really crazy good now. Campfire. A fire column spawns after every single Vanquish. So if you Vanquish someone, a fire column will spawn. No longer does a burst of 25 damage. Okay. But that's really good. That is going to be a very powerful upgrade. Let's see. Heat reduction increase for that. Engulf. Duration increase. And equip cost decrease. This is wild, guys. This is wild. Next, Cactus. Aim Assist, Anchor Point Lord, so recoil doesn't lift you above your head. Okay. Spike Shot. Some stuff. Potato Mine. Potato Mine. You can now have 6 mines out instead of 4. That's big. You can now cancel Pedal Propeller with Zoom. That is also super big. So when you're flying in the air, you can just zoom in and cancel it. That's huge. You could like quickscope people out of the air. Big Ball Barrage. Increased damage for that. That's on the Garlic Drone. So overall increased damage. Needle Shot damage has been increased to 10. But decreased rate of fire. And increased overheat. Let's see. Bon Voyage upgrade. So mines will last longer. Can be deployed from up to 15 meters in the air. Let's see. Spud Spotting reveals enemies to your team. Spotlight reveals enemies to your team. Mirage decreased equip cost. Calibrated. Stacks until reload instead of depleting over time. Interesting. Upgrade looting. Triggers on critical Vanquish. Gives variable ammo depending on what charge shot did the most damage. Okay. Citron. Okay. Citron, Peel Shield. Decreased time to start regenerating shield health. Okay, so your shield will regenerate quicker. Decreased shield health requirement to re-enable shield from 200 to 50. Okay. Decreased shield. Decreased ammo amount returned when blocking damage from 10 to 8. Not a big deal. EM Peach, Interrupt, Super Brains, Turbo Twister. Didn't know it didn't do that before. And the Imkata, so now you can cancel both of those attacks with the EM Peach. Spin Dash now has an increased distance to 30 meters, which you're going to have to be careful, but has a reduced speed, which is good. It should be able to be handled a little more easier. And the camera's been reworked. That should hopefully help it. Let's see. Quenching Cover, a little more ammo returned. Peachy, the equip cost is now 2, and the shield health returned is doubled to 200. Bowling, now let's see. Dealing damage with Ball Dash now refreshes the rate, and the increased knockback has been removed, so that upgrade has been reworked. Emergency Exit, the multiplier on that has been increased. Kinetic Energy now grants you 40 health instead of 12.5, but you need to damage someone 30 times instead of 9. Let's see, Juiced says, let's see, decrease ramp up time of naval laser. I'm not super familiar with the Juice upgrade. Acorn and Oak, Sap Trap. Sap Trap knockback force magnitude on yourself has increased, so you can actually knock yourself back with the Sap Trap. Better. Lumber support displays how much armor is given to Oak now, actually. And the armor is also applied to Acorn. That's pretty cool. Super Sap Trap, let's see. Yeah, the knockback force increased again, so a lot more knockback on the Super Sap Trap. Now for the upgrades. Increased duration of armor by an extra 4 seconds. Log Jam shoots a bigger log instead of spreading out the pieces. Okay, so it's just going to shoot like one big log out, it sounds like. Increases the projectile speed of roll for damage and increases the speed. Okay. Let's see. Upgrade Slapback. Let's see. Increased knockback. Oak can launch himself with the Super Sap Trap now, which is kind of crazy. Molasses applies to Acorn Sap Charge. Quick Draw increases your ammo gain to 22 now. Natural 20 increases knockback force significantly. Oak's knockback on these Sap Traps are just through the roof now. Rewind, refresh has been increased. Little friend, a decreased rate of heal. All right, perfect. Sunflower, Vampire Flower is now more expensive, but they reworked the way I think a lot of the vampire stuff it should give you more health. So I understand why the equip cost is higher. Shove, let's see, more knockback. Decrease speed for a quick one. Recharge, ammo gained on Vanquish instead of damage. I didn't even know that you'd be gaining the ammo on Vanquish, or on damage. I didn't realize that. It makes sense that you'd be gaining the ammo on a Vanquish, I guess. But this allows them to decrease the equip costs on a lot of these. Sunslinger, equip cost decreased. Stuffy Sundrop has been increased to 4. But now the Sundrops spawn on the Sunflower instead of the Victim. That's genius. So every time you kill... So I believe that's if you kill someone, then it drops Sundrops, but then they drop on you. Oh, it's when you deal damage. So Sundrops spawn on every 10 instances of damage instead of on the Vanquish. Wow. So this is going to be super powerful for healing yourself. But the number of Sundrops spawn is only 5 instead of 10. So it really balanced it out. That upgrade has been completely changed. Let's see. Rose. Aim Assist, Anchor Point raised from the neck to head. Okay. Interesting. That should hopefully allow you to aim better. Magic Thistles. The projectile speed has been increased over 2 times. So Rose's thistles actually shoot fast now. Thank goodness. Jinx AoE has been increased to a much larger area, and the damage modifier is higher. Goatify. Let's see. There's some fixes with Goatify. Legendary upgrade Thorn Apart. The level. Oh, it seems like they decreased the. Oh no, they decreased the amount of required triggers or whatever. So now you should be able to trigger the Thorn Apart levels faster, it looks like. So yeah, here we go. So this, you can look at this if you want. This tells you how much each power aids in charging your Thorn Apart stuff. Okay, Time Snare. Time Snare, now you only have to hit someone 4 times, which is great. But they don't move as slow. Okay. Gotality duration has been increased a little bit. Let's see. Carpool only triggers with 4 people. Not anymore. Upgrade Locked and Loaded. Increased homing range multiplayer to 2 times for the homing. Okay. Photosynthesis decreased, but gives overhealth. Pollination decreased, but triggers anytime Jinx enemy is vanquished. Interesting. Escape looks like forward movement speed's been decreased, but backwards movement speed has been significantly increased, and strafe movement speed has been increased, which makes sense. Thistle Missile increased equip cost, but in decreased speed multiplayer from 5 to 2. Interesting. That would make sense because they significantly increased the Thistle Missile speed already, or the Thistle speed already, so this upgrade just further increases the speed. So that'll be like just a laser beam. Alright, and finally Wildflower. Dandelion explosion damage has been decreased to 110, which should hopefully be more manageable. Alright guys, we still have to do all of the zombies, which is insane, and I feel like this video has already been going on for a long time, so I will probably be making a part 2 to this later today. Be on the lookout for that. We still have a lot to go through. I will put the link to this in the description. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. This is absolutely insane update. I'm sure I'll go through and make a video for you guys of some of the biggest upgrade changes. Let me know if you would like that. Otherwise, see you next time. Game on, gamers.